Two hikers take 6 photos of a black diamond-shaped object hovering over Scotland. A Harrier jet looks to be following it. They send the negatives to a local newspaper. The Ministry of Defense gets hold of them, and the story never gets published. 30 years later, one print surfaces, and experts still can't prove it's fake. Here's the problem. Without the negatives, nobody can prove what it is either. That's why Calvine is either the UK's best UFO photo, or the cleanest we saw something classified moment in modern Britain. If you want to hear about cases similar to this one, please hit like and subscribe. In August 1990, 2 men hiking near Calvine report a silent diamond-shaped object hovering, steady, no wobble, no drift, like it's not obeying wind at all. Then comes the detail that makes this case either strong or deeply inconvenient. A military jet appears near the object. Later notes identify it as a Harrier. The men take 6 photos in quick succession and send them to a newspaper. And this is the first point where my skeptic brain should relax, but it doesn't, because the paper doesn't publish them. The images are routed through an RAF press contact and into MOD channels. So either they thought it was sensitive or they thought it was embarrassing. This is where my eyebrow raises slightly. We still don't have the original set or the negatives. That's the pattern with Calvine. You get just enough to lean in, and then the floor disappears. Years later, during the UK UFO file releases, Calvine shows up as a reference case, including a low-quality photocopy of the image. So no, it's not a pure myth. Something exists in the paper trail. But the most important physical evidence, the negatives and the full sequence, is missing, and that matters more than people want to admit. Because if you don't have negatives, you don't have closure, you have belief. In 2022, a surviving print becomes public, the clearest version most people have seen. A photography expert examines the print and confirms. It looks consistent with the era and doesn't show obvious signs of manipulation in what he was given. That sounds like a win for believers, right? But here's the line that stops me going, aliens confirmed. He did not have the negatives, and without negatives, you can't properly test full-frame context, edits, sequencing, or generation loss. Let me know what you think is happening here in the comments. So what is it? In my opinion, we have 3 options. 1. Hoax or staged scene. This is the boring answer, and boring answers win a lot. If the negatives are gone, you can't rule out a model, a suspended object, forced perspective, or a staged frame designed to look huge. But here's the problem with that. Multiple people involved at the time claimed there were 6 images showing a sequence. One convincing image is doable, a convincing sequence is harder. But the absence of negatives means we can't test that claim properly. 2. Misinterpretation or optical weirdness, reflections, angle illusions, cloud layers, or swamp gas. People throw these out as reasons for optical illusions. But again, without the full set and the full frame, we just can't be sure. 3. Secret military tech. This is the explanation that best fits the government behavior. If the MOD thought it was classified, the reaction makes sense. Quiet handling, no press story, witnesses stay anonymous. And the Harrier? That could be a routine corridor, or it could be assigned as a spectator. This argument brings up complications as it doesn't resemble any confirmed aircraft. And decades later, you'd expect something in the public record. Unless it wasn't British. So do I think Calvine is an alien craft? I want to. Because the photo has an aircraft reference point, and the paper trail suggests it mattered. But wanting it doesn't make it true. Right now, Calvine sits in the worst possible place. Too good to dismiss, too incomplete to confirm. And that's why it's such an interesting story. If you have enjoyed this breakdown, then please like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. That really helps me out more than you know.